start recording. So a massive welcome to this evening's session, which is Crypto for Beginners, the Basics. So this evening is Monday, the 7th of December. I'm broadcasting live from a London time zone. So welcome, a huge welcome to people that are watching live. And I know that lots of people watch on Listen Again and watching the recording. So I will just share my screen. So hopefully this will work. Fingers crossed. So could I please have a thumbs up if you can see some slides, please? Thank you very much, Rob. Much appreciated. Rob and Kevin and David are all on the ball. Very good. Can't see Paul because you've got no camera on. So I have a quick disclaimer. The information I will give over this presentation is not investment advice, financial advice or trading advice. Rather, it's information, inspiration, and hopefully education on crypto generally. So for those listening live, there is a chat function. I'll also do Q&A at the end. And we tend to stop recording before Q&A just so you can ask any questions you have in privacy. So if you're not aware of Dacxi, a huge welcome. Dacxi is a crypto exchange. So one of the ways that you can purchase crypto with your British pounds or euros, and we have customers all over the world. So one of the ways that you can buy, store and learn about cryptocurrency. We've put out a lot of education around crypto. We're seen as the market leader in helping people get into crypto, often from not knowing anything about it. So particularly if they've never purchased crypto historically. Just gives them the ability to get involved. So there's lots of resources online, whether it's webinars or blue papers or ebooks, all of which are free and easily accessible. So the agenda for today is I want to talk about the basics. So how crypto works, what it is. I know there's a lot of information out there, some of which can be quite confusing. How people are making money out of crypto right now today, how it's done so far this year. What to avoid. So obviously there have been some less reputable companies and products in the crypto industries. We talk about keeping yourself safe online and how you can do your homework and your due diligence into the market. Where we're at in the investment cycle, so what's going on right now. And of course, how you can get involved should you be interested. So I'm very proud to say that today, which is Monday the 7th of December, a book got released today, which is called The Book of Money and Finance, which you can find on Amazon. And I actually contributed the chapter about cryptocurrency. So it's a huge compliment to Dacxi as a business when they could have gone to any exchange in the world. I was asked to contribute, and I believe it's the first chapter in the book. I've put in an order for some copies, but they haven't turned up yet. So when I have them turn up, I will know where I am in that book. But we often say that Dacxi quite literally maybe not wrote the book, but certainly wrote the chapter on cryptocurrency. I'm also been nominated for an award, which is Women in Crypto Power List, which I'm proud to be nominated for. And I also write for the press. I think I've written for the press 30 or 40 times this year. So I'm often asked about crypto as an industry. I write a lot about women's wealth, which I'm very passionate about. And I can write for a broad variety, whether it's cryptocurrency magazines, fintech. I write a lot for the banking community and all of the trade publications. So I spend a lot of time talking about the crypto as industry, how it's being adopted, and of course what's going on with prices and where I see that going. So hopefully I'm well placed to give you some information this evening that is interesting. I also have a blog. I write a lot about crypto, wealth creation, female financial empowerment, the financial world we find ourselves in right now. And my blog is syndicated across a number of other publications. I write for weekly. You can find it online, and obviously you can subscribe if you're interested in having an email once a week when I put some content out. So yes, lots of my life is spent talking to people about crypto. So I just want to talk about why so many people, particularly in the UK, are coming to crypto. And I take no offense that the majority of people that are purchasing crypto probably wouldn't be doing so if the world was a fun and lovely place, which of course it isn't right now. And a good overview of what's happening, and I don't want to by any means come online just to depress people, of course, is what's happened since coronavirus. So the FTSE 100 obviously is the value of our top 100 traded companies and is a very good health check for the UK economy. And of course, many pensions and saving products are related to it. So this is the graph for year to date. So I put this on just before I came online this evening. So of course, we saw about 30% wiped off the stock market pretty much overnight during coronavirus when it really hit the UK in March. And since then, you've seen a little bit of recovery. But overall, over the year, we're down about 14%. So particularly for people with pensions, that's a real concern. And of course, we've got some historically low interest rates. So, this is from a comparison website called money.co.uk. And essentially, if you want to put money away in a savings account, those returns are typically 1% or under. So for all those people that were looking for a good return on their money, or even worse, living on the interest, it's some very challenging times. So I've been saying in the press for a couple of months now that I can foresee negative interest rates in the UK in the near future. And I think all the politicians are fairly upfront, including the Chancellor of the Exchequer, that it's going to take us a couple of years to really get out of our coronavirus black hole. Lots of talk about increasing taxation, particularly for high rate tax earners. And of course, the worst one, matching capital gains tax to income tax, which is going to hurt a lot of investors. The other thing, of course, is that we've historically had a very buoyant property market in the UK. So aside from the 2008 general financial crash, we have been quite lucky with house prices. People that obviously own property and live in it see those prices go up, or of course buy-to-let investors have earned some good money over the last 10 to 15 years. And that of course has leveled off a bit, both in terms of prices and of course in terms of buy-to-let rental yields. We put out a lot of content for property investors that are seeking to diversify into crypto. And of course, those buy-to-let deposits are huge, yields have dropped, and there's some real challenges with bad tenants. You can't evict them for 6 months at the moment. So lots of people that have property investments now diversifying into crypto. So there's really only one reason for that, and that is growth, and also growth. So these are some figures for the year to date. So Ethereum is up nearly 350%, Bitcoin's up 160%, Litecoin and the DAC are up nearly 100%, and some of those precious metals have done quite well this year as well. I'll talk about precious metals a bit later in the presentation. But by contrast, when the FTSE's gone down 14%, that's why a lot of buyers in the UK of crypto are switching some of their cash to crypto. So we're not an investment business that gives advice, we're purely an exchange. But for that reason, we've seen a lot of people really come to crypto for the first time. A significant proportion of our business is repeat purchase. So between 60 and 70% of our business is people that are returning to us time and time again. But the vast majority of people, when they use the Dacxi platform for the first time, it would be their first opportunity to purchase crypto. So I just want to talk about really what crypto is as a technology and how it's come together. So I get to talk to lots of people that have been in crypto for a long time. So by a long time, I mean 4 years. It doesn't sound like a very long time, but people that purchased Bitcoin 4 years ago were buying a pretty much unproven technology and an asset class that no one had really heard of. So for me personally, Dacxi is actually my third blockchain business. I've done some board advisory work for 2 different blockchain businesses before I took up running Dacxi in the UK and Europe. But blockchain as a technology is now reasonably established. It's a couple of decades old, and like lots of technologies, was thought of by an academic and then took us a little while to find application for it. So blockchain, you can see, used across a number of industries. Blockchain is very simply a new type of database. Rather than being held in one place and you ping it for information, it's held across the users. Sometimes you'll see that called distributed ledger technology, but you'll see it across huge numbers of different businesses, whether it's agriculture or health tech or supply chain. And this great graphic from the Forbes publication shows huge numbers of household names that use it as a technology. Blockchain is the cornerstone and the foundation for crypto. The other thing you'll see in terms of crypto adoption, and we talk about where we're at on that sort of that cycle of adoption, and particularly the effect on prices, is really that sort of 3-4 years ago, you didn't see many big businesses putting their flag in the sand as, you know, supporting crypto or looking to use it. And I think 3-4 years ago, it was a very sensible question, you know, is crypto real? So it's being used by some of the world's largest payments businesses, particularly Visa and MasterCard are a good example of that. So MasterCard has got crypto wallet projects and 80 patents on blockchain technology. Visa's also got a lot of patents. I think it's 24 last time I looked. And you can today use crypto to pay via a relationship they have with an exchange called Coinbase. They also work very closely with crypto businesses. They fund crypto startups. Since this summer, so that's 2020, they've worked very closely with platforms and sort of really integrating it into the payment infrastructure. So bearing in mind they've got 61 million merchants and it's used by 1 billion people, that's phenomenal. And they also advise policymakers, including the World Economic Forum, and make recommendations about how we can use crypto just to make payments easier. PayPal announced over the summer that they would start having crypto on their platform, which they've already done so. So bearing in mind they've got 300 million plus users, it's a huge expansion of the audience for crypto. And actually that news is thought to have really motivated some of those price gains over the summer. And some of those big retail businesses, eBay has expressed interest, Amazon is already working with blockchain businesses. And today you can actually spend crypto at Amazon, Starbucks and Uber via a company called Fold. So it's really a good sign that, you know, when all these businesses are spending tens of millions of pounds updating their platforms, that it's a technology which is very much gaining traction and is here to stay. The other thing you'll hear a lot of talk about is what's called central bank digitized currencies, which is a very wordy way of saying that various countries are looking at moving away from physical currency, excuse me, to a purely digital version. So of course, coronavirus has pretty much killed cash. People don't really want to use cash just because it's seen as dirty. In the UK, of course, we've seen a substantial rise in what you'd be allowed to spend on the touchless payments. So the World Economic Forum reported last year that about 80% of central banks are looking to digitize their currency. So it's likely that even if you don't like crypto and you're not interested in using it, you will unknowingly be using the technology in the near future. Interestingly, in Europe, which I know is a bit of a swear word if you're in the UK right now, the EU has actually released a new set of rules and says that by 2024, they'll be using blockchain and crypto assets to help make payments quicker and faster. And they're very specific that they'll use blockchain and crypto to do so. So look, just a really good sign that this technology is very much part of our future. And you'll also see all the really big banks coming to the table as well. So Fidelity reckons that about a third of financial institutions already own crypto assets. And you'll see a lot of the big investment banks, hedge funds and asset managers talking about it. So essentially crypto solves problems. It's a quicker, faster, cheaper way of moving money. So in the last week or so, BlackRock, which is the world's largest asset manager, the chief investment officer, has talked very positively about crypto. You see tier one banks using it, which is fantastic. And my favorite quote of the summer was that at the beginning of the summer, Goldman Sachs did a call to its investors and said, you know, digital assets are not an asset class, do avoid. And by the end of the summer had hired a global head of digital assets and was looking to launch their own. So particularly if you follow us on social media, we tweet and share a lot of content about big investment banks, hedge funds and asset managers coming to the table. And that's important for this reason. So this is the life cycle of Bitcoin. It comes from an ebook that we have. It's free if you haven't got it. Do get hold of us to get a copy. So you can see that over that life cycle, there has, of course, been volatility. It's one of the reasons why we're not a trading business. We're very focused on people that want to hold their crypto for between 12 and 24 months, because it's important that people look to ride out those corrections rather than seek to trade on a daily basis. So after each high, each boom, you tend to see a correction, but you also see phenomenal daily volume. So there's 19 billion pounds worth of Bitcoin was traded in the last 24 hours, according to coinmarketcap.com, which you can look up. And each of those booms has delivered some phenomenal growth. And it's our opinion that that next boom is generated by institutional investors. I put out a lot of press content around that. We've been saying that for about 12 months. It's now very much more evidenceable, which is great. And it's also our opinion that the majority of the gains that are going to be made in the next 12 to 24 months will not exist sort of 24 months plus, which is all stuff we've been saying for a couple of years. So great to see that panning out. So I just want to talk about what we mean by crypto. It's a bit of a minefield. So there are nearly 8,000 cryptocurrencies out there. So for retail investors that are looking to get involved, it really is a minefield to work out which ones to get involved in. So Dacxi actually only is involved with a very small number. So those are what we call the blue chip crypto. So Bitcoin, Litecoin and Ethereum, and of course our own coin, the Dacxi coin. So if you look at those trading volumes, particularly for people that need an exit strategy that may wish to sell some of that, it's important there is a liquid and busy market. So Bitcoin in the last 24 hours saw 19 billion pounds worth sold, Ethereum 8 billion, and Litecoin 3 billion. We've actually been involved in those cryptos for a number of years now, so we're very interested when PayPal made its announcement. Again, they focused on a very small number, which is those blue chip. I also think it's worth saying that those blue chip cryptos typically account on a daily basis for over 70% of all traded volume. So I'll say that again, there's nearly 8,000 cryptos, and yet 3 of them are 70% of the traded volume. So it's our opinion that marketplace is due a substantial correction in the short term, and I cannot see the vast majority of those 8,000, nearly 8,000 currencies existing into the medium term. So I just want to give you a couple of slides about Dacxi. We're an exchange. You can purchase crypto and exchange from sterling or from euros. We're retail specific, so you can trade with our platform, but most of our platform users are there to hold. We do that in a way which is safe, easy and secure. I'll talk about online security on my next slide. We're licensed in Europe. It's very important to understand where an exchange is that you're using. We have a UK office in central Oxford. We're planning to list on the London Stock Exchange next year, so we're excited about that. And we're very focused on providing education and community around crypto. We intend to be crowdfunding at some point next year, so using our community coin for a tech venture exchange. And we believe that we have the largest client services team per user of any crypto business. Most crypto businesses are aimed at a slightly younger crowd, very hip, trendy and millennial. Most of our customers are in sort of 40 to 65 age range. And quite rightly, they have some high standards of customer service from human beings rather than just automated robots. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was online security. If, like me, you are old enough to remember when phone banking or online banking came in, it was quite a challenge keeping yourself safe. So one of the things you can do is look up independently what that security rating is. So Mozilla Observatory is a great way of doing that. You can check for free any time of day or night. And Dacxi has an A+ security rating, which is the top rating. And we have one of the highest ratings of any exchange, and we have a higher security rating than nearly every high street bank app in the UK. So I think well worth looking at, of course, if you're seeking to secure and store your assets online. So Dacxi is known for its 3 programs. So I'll just tell you about those. So all of our customers own their crypto online in their own name. We're not a fund, we're not derivatives, we don't trade your crypto. You purely own it in your own account, very similar to an online bank account. So a lot of people go for the blue chip bundle. So that automatically spreads whatever that customer purchases between 50% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, 10% Litecoin and 20% Dacxi. There is currently a 10% bonus as a bit of a sales incentive. The reason for that spread is diversification to decrease risk, manage that risk a little bit better. And interestingly, that combination, every couple of months, we do look at that combination to think whether we should change it. And right now, that combination has outperformed pure Bitcoin by over 100%. And every time we stress test that combination to say, should we include something else or a different proportion, that's been the best possible outcome, which is great. We also have a precious metals bundle. It's very popular with our customers who are focused on wealth preservation. Those assets have done very well over the recession, just seen as a safe haven or a flight to quality. That is split between gold, silver and platinum. And we also have a pure DAC pack, which is our community coin. That's outperformed both the blue chip and the precious metal bundle so far. And we're looking to list that coin externally in the new year. Just to give our customers that flexibility. So currently sold at a substantial discount, we believe, really in terms of capital growth, which is fantastic. So a very low entry level, £100 on the crypto and £200 on the precious metals bundle. We do have customers that purchase through their company. Transferring it is free, and we'll also be announcing very soon an ISA route. So for those in the UK, an FCA regulated ISA route. So just very quickly, two slides on the admin side of things. So the buying process is very simple. We're a digital business, so you can set up an account online from the privacy of your own home, which obviously has been great during lockdown. We're one of the very odd businesses that has actually done more business during lockdown than under normal circumstances. Not that I have in any way enjoyed lockdown or indeed coronavirus being around. So you upload what's called KYC. So we're under the UK regulator, the Financial Conduct Authority, for what's called anti-money laundering and know your client. So we require proof of photographic ID and proof of address. Once your account is verified, you can fund your account and then sit back and enjoy. And it looks very much like an online bank account. It's very intuitive, easy to use, and of course was designed by us in-house by crypto specialists. So last slide, hopefully this presentation was interesting, both for you listening live and on Listen Again. So next steps, do engage with our learning, loads and loads of free resources online via our website. So do have an explore on there. We hold loads of regular online events, whether you want to listen live or watch the recording. You can find all of those at events.dacxi.com, or of course, talk to the person that introduced you to Dacxi. So I hope the content was interesting. We try and keep them to 20 minutes, so I've just about managed. So I will stop the share and stop the recording and hopefully see all our guys online soon. Thank you very much.